Welcome to Enjoy Health Now University. Today's topic will be minimizing your risk of viral attack. As the news is often telling us, there's a worldwide epidemic or pandemic, as declared by the World Health Organization, that there's a virus spreading rapidly out of China, and this affects all viruses, whether it's a common seasonal flu virus or a cold virus. All of these things have the same background that if your system is weak, you are susceptible. And today I want to talk to you about how you can strengthen your system so that you can minimize your risk, or if you do contact the virus, your body can take care of it. I'm Dr. Daryl Hestelin, Doctor of Chiropractic, board certified in kinesiology and acupuncture. I have over 40 years of clinical experience. And I want to focus today with you on what's been my focus for the last 40 some years, is that staying healthy, staying well through daily health habits and awareness of the threats around you. Now, habits is a key factor here because willpower will always fail you. You need to create habits that are just routine, robotic in nature, that help you stay healthy. See, a virus is a unique molecule. It penetrates the cell, takes over the cell, makes the cell an infectious agent. Your immune system can recognize these and handle it and get on top of it and defeat it if you're healthy and is functioning well. There are 7 high-impact causes of immune dysfunction. Toxins is by far the biggest and most dangerous for you. There are GMOs, genetically modified organisms. There's over 1,200 studies published, and this was 4 years ago, that indicate GMOs' effect on our human health. Gut dysfunction, or the microbiome, the bacterial colonies, or the population of bacteria in your gut. This is a critical, very critical factor in your overall health and well-being. Gluten sensitivity, which really respond to the top 3. Neurological stress. The top ones, are those already mentioned, compound your stress reactions. And so you have neurological stress that you can't deal with, which then creates chronic stress and adrenal fatigue. And all of these run down your immune system, so you can end up with chronic infections or reoccurring problems, catching colds and flus and those types of things, sinus trouble, very easily. It's because your immune system gets run down, it's in dysfunction. So let's cover these topics. First of all, you see a virus in your system. And all of these reactions here require enzyme reactions, and the toxins interfere with that. There are many studies that show that toxins interfere with the immune function. So heavy metal toxins interfere with these enzyme receptor sites, and you'll see that shortly. Here's a model of an ATP molecule. This is a key factor. It's basically the foundation of health. Now, what you have here is on the upper right, you have a binding site receptor between the second and third phosphate molecules. It's the adenosine triphosphate. So that molecule, that bond between those molecules is very high energy. And that's what we need to release to provide the energy that we need for proper cell function. So this binding site, then, you'll have heavy metals that bind into that, and that's much more attractive to the receptor site than the normal magnesium that should trigger this site. So once the heavy metal's in there, it does nothing, but it blocks the magnesium from being able to activate that enzyme reaction to release that high energy bond. Zeolite is a natural metal with a negative charge that has tunnels and channels that allow this to trap the heavy metals. The heavy metals are positively charged, and the zeolite is negative. But the zeolite does not diminish our magnesium, which is also a positive charge, but it's a smaller positive charge that is not attracted into the zeolite. Studies have shown that it does not reduce the good electrolyte minerals. So what happens then is that the zeolite, in the proper form, in nanometer size, can get into the cell and actually can trap the heavy metals and remove those. Now the magnesium is free to move into that spot, trigger this enzyme activity, and now the energy can be released. So here's some facts about the ATP molecule. About 40% of the energy produced is used for mitosis or cell division. Very critical, and you'll see that shortly. About 40% of the energy produced is used to maintain the sodium-potassium balance. And this is responsible for the ionic charge of the cell membrane. If the membrane loses its charge, the cell collapses. So it's very important for cells to function properly in the living immune system is that your ATP is functioning well. The body normally functions with glucose molecules producing 36 ATP molecules from one glucose molecule. And when sick cells, like cancer cells, they turn to glycolysis, which is a different form of glucose metabolism, and they only produce 2 ATP molecules. So that's a whole nother story, and we'll get to that shortly, and not in this video, but in another video. The ATP attaches to the protein molecules, and here's the new energy of water, the biology of water that we didn't understand a few years ago. But the energy from this ATP process helps water molecules change into a gel. See, most compounds have a solid, liquid, and a gaseous state. Water has a fourth state, the gel. And this gel is the healthy cytoplasm that equals a healthy cell. So it must have this ATP, and it must be functioning well. And you can see already that toxins interfere with this ATP processing. So this is the foundation of life, a healthy ATP processing in the cells. Without the gel, the cell collapses, and this is a key in understanding the cancer process as well as just total immunity. The shocking statistics really is that the average American has 212 toxic chemicals in their blood. In our environment, we have over 80,000 industrial chemicals. And there's over 3 million deaths attributed to environmental disease. In newborns, we find there are 287 chemicals were detected in the umbilical cord blood. 180 are cancer-causing in humans and animals. So there's a lot of dangerous chemicals in our environment. 217 are toxic to the brain and nervous system. So it's so important to reduce this toxic burden on your body. 208 cause birth defects or abnormal development in animal tests. So this sounds, that we shouldn't have any normal children. However, our body does remove many of these, but on a daily basis, we can't keep up. So the dangers of pre and postnatal exposure to this complex mixture of carcinogens and toxins and neurotoxins really has never been studied. Study after study shows that heavy metals cripple your immune system. Every day you take in, through food, air, water, more toxins than you can naturally remove. And given what the World Health Organization from the United Nations has declared that the coronavirus is an international emergency and is highly contagious. So you want the strongest immune system possible in the coming weeks, months, and years. You have highly toxic halides like fluoride being added to your water supply. The obesogens, those are toxins that cause your body to store fat and create inflammation. And they're being dumped into our diet through plastics, additives, and more. And the extreme poisons like lead, cadmium, thallium, arsenic make their way into your air we breathe, and some into the foods we're eating as well, and liquids. So study after study shows that these heavy metals cripple your immune system. And it's no wonder that so many people are getting sick. And with these frightening superviruses like the corona and who knows what others beginning to emerge, you want the strongest immune system possible. If you're serious about your health, staying well, and more importantly about looking and feeling younger, more alive, and having peak performance of your body and mind, and of course your immune system, here's a healthy cell. The cell membrane is soft and permeable. Waste products can get out, nutrients can get in. And we have to understand too that synthetic vitamins don't penetrate the cell wall very easily or very completely. Proper ionic balance of sodium, potassium creates a properly charged cell membrane. Again, back to that ATP process that's interfered with by toxins. So with complete ATP function, you have a healthy gel or a cytoplasm, the interior fluids of the cell, or fluids in this case, the gel of the cell that contains the mitochondria and all the other organelles that are in a cell. And it has full nutrient absorption. That's a critical factor. So detox is necessary for healthy existence. So detox, that's removing heavy metals and VOCs, or volatile organic compounds, herbicides, pesticides, chemical cleaners. Glyphosate is a huge one today. It's in foods most people will test positive for this if they have a urine test, and there are thousands more. So in summary, toxins disrupt the ATP function, creating a cell membrane that becomes rigid. Some waste products can't get out, and some nutrients can't get in. Our cell membrane function is reduced. Internal cell metabolism is altered. You have a weak cell and poor immunity. So again, just these 7 high-impact causes of this immune dysfunction: toxins, genetically modified organisms, and the collateral damage like from glyphosate. Gut dysfunction, which the GMOs contribute to, and they also alter the gut microbiome or the gut bacteria, which are very critical in your function. Gluten sensitivity is a byproduct of this gut dysfunction. It starts penetrating through the cell membrane, the gut membrane, where it shouldn't. Then you have neurological stress because of this other stress that's going on throughout your body. And that chronic neurological stress becomes a chronic stress, causing adrenal fatigue. And then infections is just a sign that your immune system is in dysfunction, chronic infections. So understanding too that you have 100 million cells in your body die every minute. These skin cells last about 28 days, liver cells about 500 days, intestinal cells about 3 days, red blood cells 120 days, and white blood cells, your main troops in your immune battle, only a few hours. So you need to have the ability. Now remember, 40% of your ATP energy goes to cell division and replacing your cells. Will you replace your dead cells? Heavy metals reduce cell division, cell duplication. And will these new cells be healthy? If you have a toxic burden, they can't. There's an urgent need to reduce your toxic body burden. The toxic environment of the cells has to be reduced. Zeolite is a negatively charged molecule attracting the positively charged heavy metals. So it looks like this. They get pulled into the zeolite and stay stuck. Once they get in, they don't get out. When the charge is neutralized, in other words, you get enough positive charges in the negative molecules, it becomes neutral, then the kidneys flush it out. And it's with very little stress or no stress on the kidneys. The electrolytes are not trapped. It does not reduce that. I've done studies in my clinic when we were doing this, and we saw up to a 300% increase in the reduction of heavy metals, but no increase in the excretion of electrolytes. And I was part of a complex of a number of doctors across the country doing this test, all had the same type of response. To reduce your toxic body burden, Pure Body Extra Strength is the finest product on the market. The natural zeolite, it reaches the cells through the water and ion channels and cleanses for cellular performance. And there's an exclusive technology that has a nano-sized particles. They're very small, 100% absorption. So when you spray it in your mouth, 100% gets absorbed into the bloodstream to go throughout the body. And this small particle size gives greater surface area to attract the toxin. It's third-party tested and validated that the purity and the quality of this is there. Every batch that's produced is third-party tested. And super green juice. This is a green drink. It's a powder of 44 superfoods. And look at we'll start on the top. Vitamins and minerals, 100% natural nutrition. It has all the cofactors so the nutrients get through the cell membrane to nourish the cell. It helps alkalize, fight acidity with organ, greens, and 5 types of organic cereal grasses. Natural energizer, and various herbs that are in the product. Probiotic and prebiotic, extremely important for helpful bacteria to help good gut health. Support your microbiome. Digestive enzymes to help that. If you're over 40, we have some digestive deficiencies from when we were young, and we need that extra digestive help to absorb the nutrients and digest our foods properly. Antioxidants to counteract the free radicals that are in our system, and we get the antioxidants are critical from berries and veggies to support your heart and brain. Immunity builder, vitamin C, and the vitamin C, now remember, is 8 different molecules, so it has to be in the whole food form. And 5 types of organic medicinal mushrooms that strengthen your immune system. Fiber helps the digestive health and the heart. And then the other part of the detox here is the chlorophyll-rich algae. Chlorophyll is a powerful thing. This will help speed up the detox of some of the things that the zeolite doesn't attract as well. So these organic herbs support that total detox. So this is gives you completely available nutrition. So critical. It's your decision to make. Time is critical. Take your chances. Is that what you want to do? Or to do what's necessary to improve your health destiny. It's your choice. You can double your impact for detox and strong immunity using the green detox pack, the pure body and the super green juice taken together. This is something we do every day. Everyone from our 3.5-year-old grandson gets this every day, and our other grandchildren, and of course, my wife and I start our day with this. So you have the pure body extra strength to detox with nano-sized zeolite. It gets deep into your systems and your tissues to pull out the heavy metals and other volatile organic compounds. And the super green juice to magnify the effort of the detox, providing whole food nutrition. And remember, cleaning up the cell, if you don't give it the nutrition, it's going to be a short-lived process. So we do both of these, so critical. And personally, I'm feeling better now than I ever have. And I've always had good health habits, but in the last 6 years that I've been doing this, it's just been remarkable. So this will reduce your toxic body burden in strong, healthy cells with cellular food, whole food nutrients. So that's the secret to reducing your risk of viral attack. Do what's necessary. Check the link below this video, and you can place your order or contact the person that sent you to this video. Wishing that you will live young longer. This is Dr. Darrell.